Hello, I'm Tommy C, and this is Shot from the Point News. Today, I brought a special guest. You might remember my friend here, Den on Dave. We did a podcast almost 2 years ago. We're both ex-Iraq vets, and we looked over Onision's military record. You might want to check it out right here if you want to see it. I have Dave here, and today we're going to do something different. We're going to look up that somebody leaked us the courtroom audio for the Repzion and Hansen case.
And we're obviously courtroom experts, so this is going to go well.
Thank you for bringing that up. We're not lawyers. We're here to enjoy it just like you. In fact, now that you bring that up, I would like to read something. This is from the wrong Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen requests a motion to dismiss the complaint on the plaintiff due to improper service. I have nothing to do with this very public case, and I do not know the petitioner, excuse me, or intended respondent. This case involves an ongoing investigation of the petitioner by. This guy probably had to pay for this to be.
I feel bad for him, man. Just a common name. Yeah, Jesus.
That's right. An investigative, the petitioner by an investigative journalist, Chris Hansen, the former host of To Catch a Predator. I am not Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator. Given that I'm
Poor bastard.
I'm not the intended recipient of the complaint. There shouldn't be a case against me. I'm not the person the plaintiff is seeking the harassment protection from. So that's how this whole thing kind of started out, Dave.
Well, this is what happens when you represent yourself.
Yeah,
you know, these are the types of things that happen.
That's what it really comes down to. So we're gonna warn you ahead of time. The audio is not. Although we do appreciate the person who leaked the audio. Right. This is not top quality, and we're going to do our absolute best and comment on it. So maybe just hang out with us a minute and enjoy, because we're gonna. I think this is going to be fun. So let's start it off.
All right. You know, can I do a special appearance? Mr. Hansen is not served. I know.
Now somebody's trying to probably hide getting caught doing this. That's what I think.
Right.
And I did hear the judge say Mr. Hansen wasn't the right Hansen served, or something to that effect. So it goes right off. I mean, I just, if I was an Onision, I wouldn't
what
even
a waste of time.
Yeah, really.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wonder if Daniel Salzbach has a case to get his money back.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful?
I do.
Could you state your name for me, please?
James Jackson.
Do we know when the James Jackson thing came around?
I have no idea. I still call him Greg. I have no idea.
This is so new, you know.
This is definitely a new one.
Maybe they'll serve. I think he changed maybe when it's time to arrest him, they hopes he'll serve the wrong guy.
Right, exactly. You know, it's like, maybe this will work out. We'll just keep. He's Creed Branton it. If you know what that reference is, you're an awesome person.
The petitioner is requesting. It's hard to tell from the petition. Okay, and
so she seems annoyed already.
Yeah, I was told that she tried to pretend this wasn't like an internet phenomenon, but she did seem to be aware at the same time. That's what I was told.
Right, yeah.
Mr. Jackson came in back on January 10th, asked for a temporary order. Pro Tem Weller did not find an emergency, and this hearing was just set. So that's what brings us here. I will note for the record.
Hey, pause.
Sure, go ahead.
You notice what she just said? She just said, I don't know if she was saying that he was requesting it as an emergency, but she definitely said there was no emergency found. So that's why it was set.
Yeah,
now.
so the emergency, Daniel Salzbach could have,
I'm wondering if Onision wanted it to be expedited as an emergency, and that motion was denied.
You know, in my experience, they usually grant that just in case.
Right.
You know, I guess so. I didn't quite hear that correctly. I don't know. I didn't quite understand her. I'll have to rewind. But
yeah,
I don't know. It did sound like it wasn't granted. It wasn't a grant. That part wasn't granted. But that, of course, that's irrelevant now.
There was no need for it.
Yeah.
Because Hansen already left.
I got to be honest
wrong
with
Hansen.
You. The fact, if that's the case, and if you heard that right and I didn't, if they didn't grant it, this thing was over before it started. And look at the results.
Your Honor, is that the proof that it was served to Daniel Salzbach?
There is no proof of service.
Oh, I have it with me.
Wait, there's no proof for Daniel Salzbach?
I thought she was saying the Hansen.
Yeah.
And then I think Greg just moved James just moved the goalpost there back to old Salzbach.
Boy, I'd watch my mouth if I were him.
For Daniel Solzbach, her client.
That's another case.
So
yeah, there it is. That's another case.
You're right.
That's the other case.
You're right. We're not even there yet, douchebag.
Not even there.
Okay.
Calm down. Hold your horses. You're dismissing anyway, asshole.
Oh, this is great.
I'm sorry. I just want to clarify. Is there a proof of service to Mr. Hansen?
No.
Okay.
There is an affidavit that she's copying right now, and that there's a Hansen that was served, a Chris Hansen served, but it's not, it says he's not the right Chris Hansen.
There it is.
It wasn't Chris Handsome. No.
It's the wrong Connecticut Chris Hansen.
That's phenomenal. It's a common name, though. You know, it happens. I feel like we're listening for like EMF or something.
Yeah.
You know? Like a ghost recording.
Like Ghost, right? Yeah. Like,
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Are you a child?
You got the wrong Chris Hansen.
What year did you die? Did you suffer?
1943. I'm suffering now.
This talking that he was wearing Kevlar, I couldn't tell because my Kevlar was flat in the back. Was he wearing Kevlar under that suit, in your opinion, your expert opinion?
So as you know, I was an armorer for about 2.5 years in the military.
Yeah.
So I got to see a lot of different types of flak vests. Now, from what I understand it, and there's pictures of him wearing a similar one, it does look like he's wearing some sort of apparatus for certain. One that
but mine was his kind of stuck out. Mine was flat in the back. It said
ours had sappy plates. Now most
true.
of the civilian ones are they're a woven mesh of Kevlar, and that's like what 50 Cent wears everywhere. He doesn't have the sappy.
Yeah,
plates.
he had the 50 Cent one on. That's what people were saying. Yeah, the one that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I'm almost 100% sure.
Okay.
Unless he's got scoliosis, because it could have been a scoliosis harness.
He's a lot shorter than I thought he was going to be. You like even Repzion was surprised how much taller he was than Onision.
In your system, there should be a not only a request for dismissal on the other party, but also for myself after speaking to an attorney. They said there was different legal avenues that we needed to take, and this wasn't the most effective in their opinion.
Okay, this was the most effective one because I saw your affidavit in here, and it sounded like you wanted them dismissed.
Oh, he filed a motion.
That's what he just said.
On this matter?
That's my.
So that was Onision talking about dismissal.
Because he's dismissing right now.
He's dismissing the thing. Yeah.
So why be here in the first damn place? This makes no sense.
Because it's just like when he struck this channel. He's just hoping you tap out. And a lot of people do tap out, but you can't tap out of this. He overplayed his hand. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My reading of what's the affidavit that's in here.
So the police officer that showed up when he was trespassing, ignoring the 3 no trespassing signs that his entire crew walked by.
Your Honor, we're getting to the merits. Let's talk about whether there's service or what's going on.
Right. So
shut him
when
down.
The police officer gave me advice. He suggested I take the avenue of petitioning for anti-harassment order. I followed his advice, and when I consulted legal feedback, the attorney...
No, and I'm going to caution you, the proceedings are being recorded.
That's completely fine.
Okay.
I think that was a warning about process.
Right.
He could be in trouble if he could be in trouble. He's not a lawyer, so he can't lose his license. But, process is, a lot of these people that represent themselves. And by the way, it is not unusual to represent yourself in a situation like for an order of protection. It's completely and totally normal.
When you're the one doing it.
But when you're getting an order against Chris Hansen, who has a legal team, then you need a lawyer. So it's not so crazy. Most people go to these things. The judge comes in. You stay away from her. You stay away from him. And this is what's going to happen. You're allowed to hear at such and such a times. And that's it. Both people argue their case, and that's it. That's a normal situation. But he raised the stakes, and then Repzion had to hire a lawyer He was probably worried about not being able to make YouTube videos, which is really the goal here at the end of the day, like the strikes we talked about before. So, yeah, I think you're being recorded. In other words, you could be breaking the law if you don't. If certainly if you lie, but if the process. So they're representing themselves, and this lawyer knows a lot. And she's going to be able to cut them in half.
Yes, and you know what it kind of reminded me of? That scene from My Cousin Vinny, where the judge is trying to explain to Joe Pesci that there's process and procedure.
Yeah. Stop
interrupting. You want to go right to the trial? You want to dismiss everything else? No, just give me guilty or innocent. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah, that's probably. I think that's. I think that was. I think we're not lawyers. That was a warning. Don't.
I think so too.
This up, and his tone is just kind of not the way I would speak in front of a judge.
No. Yeah, once I consulted an attorney, they indicated that there are different options that would be more effective. And so I decided that it would be best if I withdrew from this and move forward with other actions.
That's important right there.
Yes.
That's important right there, because he just states that this is not the end. He's saying that's why he's dismissing. If you missed it, he just gave the reason why he dismissed, because he talked to a lawyer, and the lawyer said there are better avenues to go.
Yes, so he talked to. Why is that lawyer in the courtroom now?
Good friggin' question.
This is bullshit. This was his way to scare Repzion. He will not let go of it. He says he's going to follow up with some kind of procedure. And by the way, now Repzion has a war chest, from what I understand.
A little bit.
Yeah. And I guarantee you won't file any. I mean, I literally bet $100 with you right now.
If I had 100, I might actually take it. This guy's crazy.
Just for fun.
This guy's crazy.
You know.
But I'll tell you one thing, though. He said something interesting. His reasoning for doing it in the first place, he said the police officer who came at the time when Hansen was there, because once again, he was trying to go back to the Hansen case.
Yeah.
He said that the police officer told him to maybe go this avenue.
This route. To me, which is believable.
To me, that sounds like the conversation went like this. Well, what am I supposed to do, officer? I don't know. File a restraining order. That's what it sounds like to me. And he's like, oh, this is a great idea. We'll just
exactly. And didn't think it through and what have you. But I think what's going on here is he knows this was a horrible idea. Yeah. Absolutely horrible idea. But he can't just tap out. He's got to keep Repzion a little bit off his footing. He's got to scare them. He also said, remember, he got legal advice as well. Well, that lawyer's not in the courtroom, right? And that leads me to believe he can't afford it. This is the only thing that he could possibly afford. And that's also, he doesn't get any legal, if he doesn't have it now, he's not going to have it later. I think it very, very, very doubtful that he files anything after this. It's going to be really difficult to say you can't make, what judge is going to say, hey, Repzion, you can't make YouTube videos on a blue check mark Twitter public figure?
That's a hell of a precedent to set.
Yeah.
It's
also might be unconstitutional. You know, I mean, look, so I lose my First Amendment right to make videos on a public figure because he feels that I'm harassing him. I'm not buying this. Mr. Solzback has not spoke.
No, why would he? Yeah, he's wearing a sweet hoodie, though.
Yeah. He does have a hoodie on.
He does. He's got a hoodie. It's all wrinkled. He's just wonderful. Love it.
Way to represent YouTubers, guys.
One wore Adidas freaking like soccer shoes, and the other wore a hoodie. Fantastic.
I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss this. And counsel, I cannot put this with.
So what I took is she dismissed with prejudice, and I am assuming that's the fake Chris Hansen.
I think so.
Fake Chris Hansen. And that with prejudice means he can't do it again to Chris Hansen.
Not to that Chris Hansen.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Dismissed voluntarily.
This is, I'm going to go ahead and call the next one. This is James Jackson versus Daniel Solzback.
All right, we're there. Now it's
now
it's Danny. So the whole thing got dismissed, and I guess the other one got dismissed with prejudice.
Prejudice. And we have counsel here.
That's correct.
Okay, I was not aware of that.
Was she surprised by that? You have counsel here. Do you feel that Repzion should have brought a lawyer in this situation? She sounded very surprised by it. It's one of those rather have it and not need it.
Because of the circumstances, because of you know, and they go in alone, they'll just start arguing, and the judge will say, you know what, I'll just keep these guys apart. It won't hurt anybody. But it will hurt Repzion's talking about it. But you know why? Because this is about money at the end of the day. Repzion has rebuilt his channel on critiquing Onision. If she says, yeah, you can't make YouTube videos anymore and you stay 50 feet away, next, he's screwed. And that's probably
no
the outcome.
Surprises.
Yeah, that could have been really easy, the outcome. You know, that would have been the outcome, you know, pretty easy. And if I had to guess, I bet Onision was surprised he brought a lawyer. If I had to guess,
shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have been surprised. Repzion's no dummy.
I don't think that. I think it's money. I think he gambled. You know, Repzion wouldn't have the money.
Just kind of crapped out.
But it's so stupid because it actually shows you like Onision doesn't realize how much he's hated. He's gonna get that. He can crowdfund the money like that.
Yeah, so it's up there already.
That just shows you how out to lunch this guy is about his public image.
Mr. Jackson, that indicates that you wanted to go ahead and dismiss this also, is that?
That's correct, Your Honor. Again, with the legal counsel that I sought out, he advised me that there was a more appropriate legal course to take than what the officer had recommended in association with Chris Hansen.
Okay, so we got it backwards. Before. The last one was Hansen. This is Sulzbach. So essentially, he dismissed them, both of them, himself. Nothing. So I got to apologize to people listening. I guess we reported them. The first one was dismissed because the wrong Chris Hansen was served. They asked him. He threw it out, and he also dismissed Repzion. So they're both dismissed by Onision. And God, I mean. Jeez.
Under the guise of it being under another legal counsel's
wasted
advice.
Everybody's time. That's all he did.
Absolutely.
He's absolutely. And that's why he wastes everybody's time. He wastes everybody's time with the strikes too. He's abusing the copyright system, which is a legal system. He's abusing the local.
I can't believe there's no recourse to deal with this type of shit.
In the states, no. That's why they need what Europe has. Loser pays. And all this stuff goes. Over here in Europe, they say we're so lawsuit happy, right? Well, the reason that you would be too if you're allowed to keep doing stupid stuff like this.
Right.
Well, that went about as well as the Andy Jaworski-Tonka Saw fight. And as bad as anticlimactic.
At least both parties showed up for this one, though. Something.
Well, yeah, I hope you enjoyed Dave and I's take on it. Please, this is for entertainment purposes only. We are not lawyers. We don't know what we're doing, but we thought it'd be a real fun time to bring the band back together to criticize Onision again. Check the cards if you want to see a much more engaging podcast about Onision. Actually, we did two of them. About Onision's war record, and most people think we did an excellent job and we were really fair at the same time. So
yeah,
and
I think so too.
Being fair makes Onision look horrendous. So
it really does.
There's no disappointment. It will become nothing close to this courtroom disappointment. Thank you very much. I'm Tommy C, and I'm out. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this audio review. You'd be doing me a big favor if you would go sub or follow Dave on Twitch, and that's twitch.tv/DeadOnDave. Thanks a lot, and have a good one.